A first edition of The Tale of Peter Rabbit by Beatrix Potter. I'm Pom Harrington and I'm the owner of Peter Harrington. Here today I have the true first printing of the Peter Rabbit stories. Now, the origin of Peter Rabbit actually stems from a letter that Beatrix Potter wrote in 1893 to a friend, to Noel Moore, which featured a little story about a little rabbit called Peter. In 1900, she came to the idea that it would make quite a nice little book. And so she set about trying to produce it. She actually struggled to find any publishers to take on the thing. The format of the book she wanted to do was quite small and no one would do it. But being a lady of means, the family were quite wealthy, she published it herself privately. In December 1901, we have this. I'm just going to open up the book. I'm just going to show you. There we are. Tale of Peter Rabbit, Beatrix Potter. And I can just twist it round. You can see this little illustration. Now, there are 41 illustrations. Only the first one is in colour. Colour printing was very expensive at the time. The three-tone process has just been invented. And so she could only afford to do one coloured illustration. The book was issued in an edition of 250 copies for herself in this sort of grey binding. And famously, it is known for having this flat back. Now, the reason why it's important is that the book was so successful that actually very quickly she issued a second impression, which was different. They used a green paper and a rounded back. So the flat back and this grey texture is very distinctive to the true first printing. The books were mainly given to friends and family, and she did sell them. They were priced at 1 shilling and 2p. And this is really the birth of where all the Peter Rabbit books began. Now, the provenance of this book, I'm going to open this up. Why is this book so lovely? Well, actually wonderful provenance. I'm just going to open it up and you can see that. You have 2 book plates inside. Mildred Greenhill and then Bradley Martin. Now, Mildred Greenhill was very famous, and I believe from Chicago, a book collector from the first half of the 20th century, and essentially bought most things almost as new as they came out. Bradley Martin's arguably the greatest book collector of the late 20th century. He passed away in the late 80s and he'd had famous sales in around 1990 and is still to this day the largest grossing auction of all time of books. So very famous, very important provenance. The book really is in fine condition. It really is lovely. You couldn't ask for much better than that. And is really the key book to any collection of Beatrix Potter. For details of this book and other books by Beatrix Potter, please see our website.